And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Idea PC, joined here by Rude Dude for our Omega Gaming Banditos versus GCU Esports matchup here in the Upsurge Junior League. Welcome back to the desk, Rude Dude, and I'm the Idea PC. How's everyone doing?
Thank you very much. Just trying to figure out where the draft has gone. We are just going through the draft right now. Will be just a second bringing that up on screen for you. But the first game going the way of Omega Gaming Banditos in quite convincing fashion as well, you might say.
Oh, absolutely. A dominating game there, able to pick up a large majority of those objectives. A lot of that freestanding gold in turrets there, perfectly executing a 4-1 there at the end, utilizing the power and pushing of super minions in the bottom wave to give themselves the advantage. And there's really just nothing that GCU Esports could do the entire game. Quite a dominating performance from Omega Gaming Banditos. So you really do have to hand it to them there indeed.
Exactly, and that was game one. Obviously, we're now into game number two, and as you see the draft on your screens, immediately we see an Olaf ban coming out from GCU Esports, getting rid of the early game power that Slacking had last game, as it was really oppressive and really helped them snowball their way to that quick victory. We see with Aphelios banned off the table, Omega Gaming deciding that they want the Varus as their ADC, likely to see GCU respond with an Ezreal as the other AD carry available. They might try and find something fancy though, but Omega Gaming get their hands on the Varus obviously now with Olaf being banned in place of the Varus this game, going to pick it up and will be interesting to see whether or not we get an on hit or a poke Varus. Obviously, the reason that he's so blind pickable is because of his diversity in builds and how easy it is for him to take different runes and take different build paths dependent on the enemies that he is facing.
Absolutely, indeed, there. And we do see the Morgana here getting picked up for the side of Omega Gaming Bandito. So you will have that Morgana Varus combination. Can be quite lethal there with the Infernal, or I'm sorry, not the Infernal Chains, the Chains of Corruption and the Dark Binding there, landing and locking you down for a long, long, long time. So Omega Gaming Banditos, they're going to have some of that pick potential with that combination there in the bot lane. A lot of kill pressure as this Varus levels up and continues to get those items for the poke. And Vladimir actually rounding out their first round of picks here for Omega Gaming Banditos. Can be flexed up towards the top side or the mid roll as well. And final pick now coming in for GCU Esports. I'm going to be interested to see if they will draft something that will just generally play well into the Vladimir. Yep, there we go. There it is. The Galio picked up here for GCU Esports. They will get the Galio this time around, and they're looking for some of that global pressure to roam around.
Yeah, they really are going to be looking to try and neutralize any bot lane pressure. Hopefully, with the hero's entrance, go down bot lane, make some plays happen, and keep Civil and AHOP at bay this game. But with the Morgana locked in and picked up, we're going to see AHOP back on Morgana. It really was dominant with that in the first game. And something that's interesting during this draft is that GCU elected not to pick up their AD carry, so to match the Varus. And this does give Omega Gaming options to really pinch the pool of AD carries and force GCU onto something that's really not in that top tier, the upper echelon of AD carries if they elect to go for that way in the bans. So be expecting to see this Ezreal and hopefully even another ADC ban coming out if they feel it's needed, just to really give themselves some bot lane priority, even more so than they already had with the Varus Morgana.
Indeed, indeed, here. And we do see Darius banned away here from the side of GCU Esports. Strong pick there. I'm going to guess it's a targeted ban here against Blood King. Last game, we did get to see him on this Shen, which did look pretty good, I would have to say, overall, in general, was a strong pick for them. Had a lot of pressure there to be able to go around. And that is a Pantheon ban. We do have confirmation of that inside of the draft here. Last ban for GCU Esports is Pantheon. So we will not be seeing any of that. And, Pantheon actually has seen kind of a resurgence in the meta, not in a role that you would normally expect to see him in, but as a support. Obviously, the Thresh already picked up here and the Morgana already picked up here for both of these teams. But just a quick little note in there, I do think that the support at Pantheon is quite an interesting pick that we've seen in professional play. But yes, Ash there rounding out the bans here for Omega Gaming Banditos. They're going to deny GCU Esports some of that long range engage on the Ash Arrow. And that means that the Callista will be going on over to the side of GCU Esports. They'll have that nice Callista Thresh combination, which can be very, very potent with the amount of CC that you have in that combo. Thresh being able to throw down the ultimate to kind of cage in people surrounded by the Fates calling can be very, very difficult to get out of.
Yeah, definitely. There's, the potential in this bot lane for each of the characters to save themselves. Obviously, Thresh typically is the sit in the back line if necessary, that is, to throw lanterns back and save his team. But nice little synergy or sort of ability from Callista is that she can do the same for her support. So Thresh going to be able to play a little bit more aggressively, knowing that he's got the safety of the Fates call at his back. And we see Omega Gaming Banditos picking up the Nico, which we saw banned away in game number 1, and then the Trundle picked up in the jungle, deciding that with the Olaf band, he's going to go for another early game style jungler in that Trundle pick. I'm going to look to try and coax this Vladimir through the early game, getting to that late game stage where he can really tear through the team of GCU.
Absolutely here. And, I'm just looking at this Omega Gaming combo here, and there it is, the Ornn actually getting picked up for GCU Esports. I'm kind of surprised that the Ornn was the pick here, knowing that they have the Trundle, who is an amazing tank buster. Usually you kind of see it the other way around where a team will then pick, they'll pick Ornn and then another team will then pick Trundle as the response to it. But kind of going the opposite way around here, GCU Esports saying, you know what, we feel confident on the Ornn pick. We're going to take it up into the Trundle anyway. And I'm going to be interested to see how that works out for them here. I think, though, that the Ornn Horn does provide them a lot of utility. Obviously, Ornn items invaluable to any League of Legends team. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to pan out here for them. Some scaling options for both sides here. But we are getting ready to go into the client draft. This game will be starting up soon. But a very, very exciting game 2 here set out for us. Now, we see the picks. We see the bans. We know what to expect. With all of that being said, Rude Dude, what are your predictions here for game 2?
So we sort of see an opposite style pickup from each team here. GCU have gone for really a lot more early game focus. They have got the insurance policy of a late game team fight in that on, but Callista, Volibear, two champions that really want to get down and dirty in the early game, get some advantages early on if they can, and snowball a lead. And the side of Banditos, we see sort of the opposite really. They've picked up Vladimir, really good scaling champion, picked up Varus, really nice scaling champion, no matter which build that he goes for. And obviously, with the safety of a Morgana, they're going to be able to keep, if they can keep themselves safe in the early game and deny the snowball that GC are going to look for, they're going to be in a really nice position to try and take this second game of the series and close it out in a swift 2-0 fashion.
Absolutely, indeed. And, I'm kind of excited for it, right? Because you have some of these late scaling options for both teams. And it's, I really think it's just going to come down to which team is going to be better on the day. I mean, obviously, Omega Gaming Banditos putting in one heck of a performance there in game 1. And GCU Esports really just kind of looking to find their team identity, it seems like to me still. It's some rough play there in game 1, unfortunately. Just not being able to take those fights, being so far down behind in CS and gold, due to the global gold of turrets going down, really meant that we never got to see this GCU esports squad really take a fight that was close. So I'm interested to see if they're able to kind of fix some of those issues that they had in game 1, be able to, work on those CS numbers, get themselves back into a competitive feel, and really give us a banger here for game 2.
Yeah, definitely needs to step up their early game, especially with the picks that they've drafted. Talk a little bit more about the volley bear, especially in this jungle role. Really is going to need to try and get some early advantages against Trundle and the rest of Banditos here, because when you're playing jungle, you're in a typically lower economy role, right? So you can get yourself that first jungle item fairly easily, but if you end up going behind, your economy funneled into you becomes significantly diminished because all the gold that you've got, you want to give to your carries. You want to be giving it to this Callista and giving it over to this Galio so they have more agency to try and carry you and get you back into the game. And if you fall behind on the volley bear, he's really easy to kite out especially with the roots that are going to come through from Nico and Morgana as well, especially with a chain of corruption layered on top of that. It's going to be quite easy for him to get rooted up. And despite all of the denial CC, obviously, with the chain stun potential, it can be quite difficult for a Volibear without gold and without agency to get into the backlines and get into doing the damage that he really needs to do.
It can absolutely rude, dude. And with all that being said, we finished up our draft here for game number 2, and we're going to get ready to start this Upsurge Junior League matchup between Omega Gaming Banditos and GCU Esports here. And again, I'm the Idea PC, joined by Rude Dude, our friend from across the pond there in Europe. Again, welcome. Thanks for just casting with me here for Omega Gaming Esports. Very, very great time, as it is always indeed. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be moving on over into our spectator intermission for competitive integrity. Do not go anywhere. We will be right after the break, and we will see you on Summoner's Rift. And welcome back, ladies and gents. I'm the Idea PC, joined by Rune Dude, and here we are, Game 2 of the Uprising Junior League. Upsurge Junior League matchup between Omega Gaming, Banditos, and GCU Esports here. With a win here, Rune Dude, Omega Gaming Banditos will lock themselves in for playoffs.
Yep, exactly. We're in week 7 of 7 right now in the regular season, so to speak, of this UJL. And currently there are 4 teams tied for 4 and 2. See GCU walking through the bot jungle, but they might not find anything. Looks like they're just going to back away after a nice E from Civil there. But yes, currently 4 teams tied for 4 and 2. Unfortunately, GCU are not one of them. They're unfortunately sat down 1 and 5, so this game is merely trying to be a throwaway to try and maybe halt the Banditos' progress. But with a win here, as you mentioned, Idea, they are going to take their team into playoffs for the second stage of Upsurge Junior League.
Absolutely, indeed. It's going to be an exciting one to watch. I'm excited to see the playoffs and exactly how they're going to pan out for Banditos. Assuming that they do get the victory here and that, tiebreakers aside and all that crazy stuff that happens with bracketing, they pretty much got it locked in. They just need this dub, and it'll be no questions asked. So, good luck to Omega Gaming Banditos if they're able to pull this win off here. And if Game 1 was any indicator as to what we're going to expect in Game 2, that could be looking like the case. But GCU here, I'm looking for them to correct and course correct some of those mistakes that they made there in Game 1 to be able to give ourselves an interesting match here for Game number 2. So I can't wait to see exactly what kind of improvements they've decided to make. I think that, this time around, they really do have, some of the type of champions to be able to, I don't know, possibly make that happen, right? You have these big, tanky, beefy members that can kind of generate in the Volley Bear, in the Ornn. Thresh over time does get himself that passive armor as well. So, they have options to really be able to protect this Callista to get a lot of damage off on a relatively squishy Omega Gaming Banditos here.
Yeah,
Down the bot lane, Thresh not going to be able to land the hook, but no big worries there.
definitely do have the potential to save this Callista, but the worry is that once the Callista dies is really where does the damage come from for the side of GCU, is if they're not able to keep him safe. See, fighting mid here.
Yeah, fight mid here. Cool Crab getting locked up there, but the Tangle Barbs come out. Force Leg going to be going down. Now will force out the flash here. Cool Crab going to back off there. No kills here in the mid lane, despite the gank here coming in from Slack King. You see him all over the map there in Game 1, and he's looking to make a repeat of it here in Game number 2. Earlier, right before we had that fight there in the mid lane, we did see the Dark Binding landing down onto Kaliteros, I believe is how you say his name. I may butcher that one, but yeah, Kaliteros here, has that cleanse, luckily. So thinking ahead there, I like the Summoner spell picks here. It shows these teams are really thinking about their choices and decisions that they're making in lane. So good to see that here, but that Summoner spell is down. So a little bit of a timing opportunity window here for the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. But now Flash is coming out here in the mid lane from GCU. Tangle Barbs will not land, and Trundle is not there in time to be able to get the counter gank off. That's a pretty big cooldown here blown from the Cool Grab. Unfortunately, though, not able to get the kill there. Nice pull from Blood King to be able to avoid the knockup and the damage there from the Ornn. But overall here, I mean, I just say, this Omega Gaming Banditos team is playing very effectively on Summoner's Rift today.
Yeah, they really are. We've seen A-Hop now land 2 bindings already down on this bot side, and Callista with the Martial Poise, Martial Cadence, really should be able to try and get herself away from them. It really is on A-Hop predicting where he's going to jump to that's getting him these advantages. And looking there with a nice interrupt on the item crafting, meaning that Ornn isn't going to be able to buy himself maybe the Ruby Crystal or anything to keep himself a little bit topped off in this lane. But overall, we saw that gank in the mid lane, the 2 versus 1 where Slacking wasn't able to reciprocate, and Cool Crab got out of it. He burned his flash, which was fine because Force Slate and Crash Override both took flashes themselves. Nice pull again on the top side. But with the both flashes burned now, with Volley Bear and Galio, without their main engage sources really, it's going to be a lot easier for Cool Crab, for Blood King, for anybody really to keep themselves safe in this early game, which is when we said that they really needed to try and thrive, they really needed to get themselves the advantages, because otherwise they're just going to get outscaled, unfortunately.
Indeed here. And, CS, though, I will say here in game number 2, looking a little more normal here for the side of GCU. Managing to keep their CS numbers about even. So, I mean, I know it's only 6 minutes in, but that's a good start. And Cloud Drake here will do them some favors as well as these ultimates start coming in, giving them that 10% cooldown reduction with every Cloud Dragon gained. So, there it is. Picking that early dragon up, using some of that lane priority towards the bot side and the proximity of their jungler, picks himself up the neutral objective.
Yeah, really good to see them get that Drake early on. A nice gank bot.
A little bit out towards the bot side there. Nice hook here, landed on Sybil. The Rend is still there. Ooh, the Ignite gonna burn down, and that's first blood going on over to be levitated here on the Thresh. Off of the back of a nice play there from Kaliteros there. Does have to burn the flash to be able to secure him the kill, but in return, they do get all of the summoner spells bottom side here out of the hands of Omega Gaming Banditos. Nice hook there, but unfortunately, Kaliteros not going to be sticking around for the play, for the fight there. Does not want to fall to this Morgana, so that'll be what it is. Morgana just trying to save the wave here for her AD carry. Being a good support, as good supports should be, Rude Dude.
Yeah, it really is. Needs to keep himself, or keep Civil, the farm, keep him happy there. And it was overall, with that gank down bot lane, a really nice play by Be Levitated. You know, Crash Override was able to bait out the Black Shield onto A-Hop, and as soon as the Black Shield went down, Be Levitated really threw a nice fake onto Civil to get that hook, get the death sentence, got the flay as well, perfectly layered the CC so that the flash from Civil really just wasn't even enough to get him to safety. Playing this Thresh into Morgana matchup in that instance about as well as you can do. You know, you see the Black Shield go down, you have to go for the other target, and Civil not respecting it, gets caught, gets hooked up, and it's a nice gank down on the bot lane, and it's exactly what we wanted to see. You know, we were talking about the fact that Crash Override needed to get things done early. He's got himself the early Drake, and he's got himself a kill as well now in the bot side.
That was indeed here, and I'm actually taking a look at the Omega Gaming Banditos record here overall. They currently are sitting at 9 wins and 6 losses. So, I mean, with every loss, right, that means you have to have at least 2 losses in that best of 3 series, right? So out of those 2 losses there, they've picked themselves up, at least 4 of those total losses in the season. Which means that at least in 2 of their winning series, right, they did drop games. So it's not completely out of the question that, maybe even a team like GCU, who has had not a whole lot of success this year, could be able to pick one up. Fate's calling, though, getting called in there, and double teleport now coming down here. Slack King, though, is going to be in the wings here, going to be able to pick up the kill there. That's a trade of 80 carry for support here in favor of the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. The flash is coming in, the Tingle Barbs will land, and Cool Crab picks himself up another one down there in the bot lane. In total, a 3-4-1 trade in favor of Omega Gaming Banditos.
Yeah, and just as you start singing the praises of the potential for GCU to try and get a win here, Omega Gaming Banditos, they hear you and they say, excuse me, we're winning this game, or we want to win this game for sure. They TP members down bot lane and get themselves 3 kills. Unfortunately, the TP from Slayax really just wasn't in the right position. He TP'd into the river effectively, came down through the Ornhorn down, but by the time he was there, his team had already died, and a nice flash from Slacking managed to secure the final kill onto Forslay. And already, we see slight CS lead in the mid lane, so without having to burn the TP, Cool Crab was able to contribute to a kill in the bot side and managed to keep his wave in a good enough spot to keep his CS number high.
Does absolutely indeed. And, up in the top lane here, this Ornn able to maintain his farm, but hold on now. Fight towards the bottom side here. A lot of pressure coming in from GCU here. They really want to focus this bot lane. Sybil's just going to immediately fall down, but now the teleport coming in here from Cool Crab. Pop Blossom going to find himself down onto 2. Tower shots are going to land, but they do not have the damage here. Thresh Hook almost landing there. So very close. And Galio waiting in the wings here with a chicken wing in his hand. Looking for that throwdown, but it's not going to come here. And you can see there's a distinct difference between this GCU and the GCU that we saw in game 1. They're really putting a lot of pressure and priority on these lanes. Trundle's going to find a hook, but they're not going to take it there. Health bar is a little too low here from the side of GCU. Galio, though, still waiting in the wings there. Can come in at any moment, so maybe they might try to bait a fight here. They're going to walk up, maybe clear out some of this vision, but I mean, overall, there it is. Hook landing now. That's going to be one dead support there. Will go golden, but I don't think he's going to survive. No, he will. Volley Bear rooted up, and Civil picks himself up the kill on to Crash Override. Being levitated now, looking next, but the Fate's Calling will get him out to safety. Just stepping up a little too far there, but Morgana able to get herself back and out with a nicely timed stopwatch. Gives the rest of Omega Gaming Banditos the time to be able to put themselves in position to be able to support their support.
Yeah, nice actual bait from A-Hop. Gets hooked in, but knows he has the stopwatch to keep himself safe. With that kill on the bot side, they do pick up the Mountain Drake as well, evening up once again the Drake scores, and it is going to be the Ocean Soul that we see in this game number 2. And that before the secondary engage even happened, we saw the effectiveness of that Volley Bear early game. You know, he dove in with the ultimate. So maybe fight top here, sorry. Good flash from Blood King, gets himself away. But with the dive that we saw on the bot side, the really nice use of the Volley Bear ultimate to immune the turret and just turn it off. You know, 6 seconds-ish of immunity to the turret, not going to get any support from it. Really helped them out in that instance and that dive. And a really nice play from Kaliteros. He knew that A-Hop was stepping up, but fight actual bot.
Yep, there it is now. The IC pillar coming up. That's going to lock this Thresh down. He's going to be rooted forever. And Slack King picks up the kill credit down there in the bot lane. Now 1-0-4 in this game. And you really, really have to hand it to the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. And the amount of early game pressure they're able to exhibit with Slack King at the helm of that now. But A-Hop, sorry, caught out here down in the river. There it's going to be, though. The Stormbringer's not going to be enough. He's caught up between 3 members. That's the kill going on over to the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. And Cool Crab picks himself up one for his time. Anyway, what was I saying before we did? I don't even know. It doesn't even matter. All I know is that Omega Gaming Banditos, I remember now. They really just have such good early game pressure that comes out of this Trundle. Note the flash coming out from Kaliteros. It's just going to kill A-Hop. But is he going to die for it? Flash is away there a little too late. We'll get killed down. That's the double kill going on over to the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. Just overall really sloppy play there. I don't really know what to say. But we do have a pause now here. It looks like Volley Bear did have a ping spike of 1,200 milliseconds. So that feels bad.
Yeah, definitely need to get that sorted for them, just to, you know, ensure the competitive integrity of the game. Because obviously, if everybody's playing on normal ping and you've got somebody on 1,000, then create some unfair advantages for the normal ping side. Obviously, right there. And it was a nice actual play from Kaliteros just there. Picks up the kill onto A-Hop. But unfortunately, the rest of the team from Omega Gaming were there. We're ready to support. And unfortunately for Kaliteros, didn't quite get the jump over the wall in time. The QCD wasn't there until the last second. And by the time he managed to get the Q over the wall, he was already, unfortunately, just about dead. Met his demise. A nice piercing arrow picked up the kill. Unfortunately, it looks like we've picked up where we left off, and the ping spike didn't last for too long. Should be good to get back in and carry on with this game. And sat about 13.5 minutes into this game right now, a 3,000 gold lead for the side of Omega Gaming Banditos, and that's really not what you want to see if you're a fan of the GCU boys. They're gone for this early game style comp, and they're down 3,000 gold in the early game, so this is really looking not great for them, especially with the 2-level lead in the jungle as well. Slacking really running over Crash.
Crash Override, though, getting slowed down. Here's trying to find his way out, but the damage is going to be there. Civil with the arrows coming down. That's going to be the kill. The 5th one now of this game going on over to this Omega Gaming Banditos AD carry. Slayax and Blood King up here just kind of slapping each other in the face, duking it out here. Sustain versus Ultra Tank. Who will win the fight? Right now, it's going slightly over in favor for Blood King here. He's got the kills. He's got the gold. So, good to see that, especially when you know that this Vladimir has been doing a little bit of roaming, being able to pick himself up some of those kills in the river. And to have the gold advantage and pretty much have this Ornn pushed under his tower all game without a whole lot of jungle attention being sent your way, definitely is a win for him as we're starting to transition into the mid game.
Yeah, something that you never really want to see is an unchecked Vladimir. He's pretty much had a free lane up on this top side and even managed to TP down bot, get himself some nice injections of gold from the bot lane from the bot laners of GCU, and he's not been challenged in this top lane at all, being able to free farm against this Ornn effectively. We saw one instance of an Ornn horn top that could have resulted in a kill. Blood King burned his flash, and since then it's really been unpunished, and maybe a fight bot here.
Yeah, there it is. Flash coming out from B, levitated, but the teleport coming in will not find anything. Crash override, duking it out with Blood King up towards the top side. But unfortunately, just not able to get anything going there. I'm pretty sure that the Omega Gaming Banditos bot lane would have seen the teleport from the Ornn. They're still kind of in that viewing area where they can see it coming down. Ooh, but there it is. Nice cleanse coming out from Cali Terrace, but it's not going to matter when the Dark Binding lands. A-Hop able to pick up the kill off of that one right there. Crash override. Now duking it out a little bit with Blood King in the top side. But good execution there and good layering of CC from the Omega Gaming Banditos squad there. Chains of Corruption landing, forcing the cleanse, but then immediately being hit by the Dark Binding pretty much seals your fate as a squishy 80 carry.
Yeah, it really does. The levels of CC that they've got, maybe a fight mid though, actually. Just look like Forsley just pashed himself away.
Oh, up towards the top side, though. Blood King able to get the dive under tower there. Manages to pull it through here. Wonderfully done. They're going to check here in the bottom side. Ornn will take the Dark Binding here. Civil just kiting back here. Xylex now at half health. There's the Subjugate coming out. And he's going to take those stats. That's going to be one dead support, though. B levitated does find his demise. Slayaxe gets up and over the wall with the flash. And that is going to be a Omega Gaming Banditos dragon here, which will be their second dragon of the game.
Yeah, it really feels like it's just a matter of time right now. The Banditos, they've excelled that gold lead now. 7,000 gold already. 16.5 minutes into the game. They're really looking good in this one. And with the scaling comp, it really just feels like a matter of time before they start taking the turrets, start to excel this lead and start to close out this game, because I look on the side of GCU and I really don't see a way back in. This Kallista's down a level, down a little bit of gold as well. Actually 1,500 gold. And Varus is probably going to be able to safely dish out a lot more damage than this Kallista will do. Obviously has the better late game keystone with lethal tempo over the Hail of Blades, which you typically take for early aggression. Well, just look at this Vladimir already. Look in his bank and he's got 3.7 thousand gold, not spent half.
Down towards the bottom side, though. A-Hop's going to flash out here. Civil's going to get caught up. That's a shutdown going on over to Crash Override. Teleport's now coming in. Blood King finds himself in between three. But the Fate's Calling will be able to get Thresh up and out to safety. But it's not going to be able to do much there for the Kallista. She's going to go down here as she's getting chased down. Thresh does fall. Double kill here for the Vladimir. Volibear able to pick himself a trade kill there. Vladimir getting the kill onto the Galio, doubling back. I mean, there it is. I mean, a 4-for-2 trade here in favor of Omega Gaming Banditos. They're going to call the Rift Herald down towards the bottom side of the map. They're not even going to need it here for the T1. They've got the damage to be able to dish it out. And they're going to be able to get the charges down off onto this tier 2 tower. They may even be able to take it if the damage is enough. They have the wave there. Still got a few minions left in it. Cool Crowd taking a little tower shots for his time, but they're going to be able to pick up 2 towers off of that play down towards the bottom side of the map. Very, very well executed here from the side of Omega Gaming Banditos.
Yeah, and we just saw it there, didn't we? The power of this Vladimir. He was unchecked in that fight and unchecked during the lane phase period. Managed to TP down bot lane, picks himself up 3 kills of his own. And look at the gold tally that he's about to go back and spend. 5,000 gold in the bank. 700 gold bounty on his head. Gonna pick up the full Void Staff, likely completes the Proto Belt, and then even has money for the Sork Shoes as well. This Vladimir really is probably going to be the one to take over the game, and it feels pretty bad if you're GCU staring down the barrel of a level 13 Vladimir with 2 completed items, a little bit of cooldown reduction on top of it. As soon as you see this Vladimir come near you, you just have to run. There's really nothing that they can do, unfortunately, to shut it down, short of some really nice CC layering from the side of GCU, and that is going to be requiring all of the focus of all of the members. And during that time, Civil and Civil and Cool Crab, respectively, still do a lot of damage themselves. They also need to be accounted for in these team fights, so they really are going to have to look for picks with Levitated and Crash Override here to get themselves anywhere near back into this game, but it's going to be really difficult for them.
Yeah, Galileo there, he's taking the CC chain there, all the roots coming down. He's going to be locked up for a while there. Tangle Barb's Dark Binding, kind of a dangerous combination, but unfortunately your damage is sitting up there taking the red buff right now. Varus going to kind of split push up there in the top lane, try and get some of these waves down, give themselves some pressure so they can force the recalls on their side to be able to get priority vision. Thanks for the Baron and whatnot here, but I imagine that they will be looking to focus down the mid tier 1 tower here, trying to knock that down from GCU to be able to establish themselves more vision. Crash Override, they're also going to take, a lot of that damage, but and kind of I alluded to this earlier in the game. Nice flash out there from Kelly Taros, has to do it, otherwise he's just probably done. But I was talking about the beefy boys, Rude Dude, the beefy boys of this GCU squad. We just seen it there. They're able to take those roots. Ooh, hold on though. Vladimir flashing up towards the top side of the map, looking for something, but Sybil's gonna get caught out here in the top lane, split pushing. The hook lands and he's just dead. Be Levitated picks that one up, but the consolation prize is the mid tier 1 turret as a result. So you do take down that AD carry, but you lose some more pressure and more space on the map. That is going to be definitely a problem for this squad.
Yeah, exactly, and you're entirely right about you're talking about the beefy boys, but they might have caught up with Blood King here. We'll have to see the Vladimir.
Yep, Vladimir here, gonna be able to get some damage down on a Force Lay here. Flash coming out now. Call of the Forge God coming through. We'll get the knockup down onto Morgana. A-Hop is in some danger. We'll go Golden. Blood King with the burst damage there coming down onto Slayers. And there's Force Lay in with the hero's entrance. Able to get the taunt down onto Trundle. He's gotta be dead here. Damage comes through. That's easy kill gold. Going on over to Cali Taros. The knockup now from Slayax. Blood King's in some danger here. Can he trade one back? No, he cannot. Shut down 1,000 gold in the pocket of this AD carry. Oh, but oh my goodness. There it is. Pop Blossom going to come down, able to get huge damage, but not enough to be able to pop those really low health bars again. Take note, Rude Dude, the only one there to die was the AD carry. Big surprise when you got these beefy boys. More fighting going on. I mean, what are they fighting for? Ocean Dragon, I guess? I don't know. It's just fight after fight after fight after fight.
Yeah, really.
Civil picks himself up some kills, and gosh, GCU, you did so well. You took the fights. You only lost your AD carry, and then
they kind of ran into a really fed Varus. Unfortunately, it looks like, as you mentioned, with killing the Vladimir, killing the Nico as well, that they should be able to walk in and take that dragon. But Civil was just there, and he was ready with the heal, ready to keep himself alive and dish out the damage. Gets himself 3 kills traded back, on top of Cali Taros as well. And the game, this is exactly what we needed to see from them, was to try and find the picks GCU. They found the picks bot lane, and it was going so well for them. I'd like to say, though, that is still a trade that went in their favour, because Cool Crab died for 800 gold, and so Blood King died also for 1,000 gold. So they have claimed back quite a few bounties right there. They do lose the Drake, and they do go down to Soul Point here, but with that little bit of cash injection, maybe it just stabilizes them for just a little bit to keep themselves alive. Another thing to point out, though, with that Nico play that we had when she ran in and sort of saw the 1v4 montage in her head, we've got the Glacial Augment that's come through for her, and unfortunately that is a typically lower damage build, more of a set up for your team style build, because you pick up the Twin Shadows, you pick up the Super Soaker, and you're just there to provide a lot of AoE slows and CC for your team, and it's more of a team enabling build. And when she went in for that 1 versus 5, 1 versus 4 play, if we saw a more AP focused Zoe, maybe Shad Morellos and Illudens in that instance, that felt like that could have been a Penta or a Quadra kill or something. And I think that's what Cool Crab was thinking as well. In his eyes, he sees the highlight reel of 4-man stack on a Pot Blossom. but maybe we've got a fight here on the Baron area.
For something now. There's a Stormbringer coming out from Crash Override, looking to get himself out to safety here. Blood King, though, split pushing in the bottom side of the map here, has his teleport available and ready, and I'm not sure Slayax can really meet that threat. Vladimir still in the bottom side of the map. Ornn just too scared to be able to walk up. Ornn still has not completed his Sunfire Cape. We're 25 minutes into the game now, just not having a good time against the Vlad. Unfortunately, they're just so slow to the rotation here. This is going to be the inhibitor going on down over to the side of Omega Gaming Banditos, but Blood King now finding himself in a little bit of a precarious situation. Call of the Forge God going to come in. It's not going to matter. That's the kill going on over to Slayax here. Ornn picks up the kill, but while you're chasing down the 5, 1, and 2, Vladimir at the time, the rest of Omega Gaming Banditos is sitting there swacking at the Baron, and they do pick themselves up that purple buff.
Yeah, exactly. He also gets the inhibitor down bot lane as well, so even if they didn't get the Baron, the efforts of the Vladimir solo would not have been in vain. And with the inhib down bot lane as well, it just creates an even easier approach for Omega Gaming Banditos to base, spend their gold, get the recalls in, get the resets, and try and adopt another one of those 1-4 strategies that we saw them do so well in the first game. Probably likely to put Blood King up on that top side. He's doing really well into this Ornn. As we see, he picks up the Void Staff very early. Second item completed for himself. And he knew he'd be side laning versus this Ornn. And that's why, as you mentioned, Slayax really isn't able to go toe-to-toe with him. It's because of the itemization. And with the Rabadon's Death Cap coming through for him now, he's going to be sat on a lot of AP. And level 15 Vladimir, Rabadon's Death Cap, 2 other items completed. It's really dangerous for GCU to get anywhere near this Vladimir. Did miss the Hemo Plague in that last engagement, but even with it landing, I still feel like he'd have died to the 5 members. And now we see, with the Baron buff, Civil, the rest of Banditos walking up. They take the mid lane tier 2. Don't quite have control of the top wave yet. Looks like they should be sending somebody over toward it, or maybe they just feel like a 5-man force down bot, but a TP behind from Slayax.
Yep, teleport coming in now. GCU looking for something. Nice pillar there, though, to be able to deny the push. Dragon, though, going to be spawning here in about a minute. I do think, though, that at this point in time, Omega Gaming Banditos, they just have the power. And actually, they can just push down the inhibitor here. The rest of GCU totally mispositioned for this engagement here. This tower is going to be dangerously low here. This is not your poke Varus. This is the regular AD carry version of Varus. Unfortunately, Slacking getting caught out here. He's going to get taunted up. Is a little bit tanky, though. Has the flash to be able to get up and over the wall. Call of Forge God now coming in. Gets up the huge knock up there. Galio with the hero's entrance. But Varus sitting there firing down to the backline. But it's not going to mean much when it's on to the tank Ornn here. Morgana going gold. And the damage is coming through, though, for the side of Omega Gaming Banditos. Triple kill now here for Varus. The Cool Crab going to fall here to the Justice Punch, but they have the minions in the base, and this is going to be looking like an OGB game as they're looking to delay the recalls, looking to end this game. Slack King and Civil taking down the Nexus turrets here in game number 2 of this best of 3, and that's going to be OGB wrapping this game up and locking themselves in for playoffs here. Congratulations, Omega Gaming Banditos, on the regular season. You guys made it.
Yeah, as you say, with that victory, it takes them to 2-0 in the series and takes them to a nice record of 5-2 overall. So they are going to advance into the playoffs of the UJL with that win. But that team fight at the end there, really want to mention the really nice play that we saw from Cool Crab. You know, all of the damage was coming from Civil. It felt like he got the triple kill, did a lot of damage, but in the middle of that team fight, there was an absolutely huge pop blossom. It chunked out the remaining members of GCU and made it so easy for Civil to just sit back and free hit during the team fight. We talked about the supportive role that the Nico was building towards with the items, and he really played that team fight incredibly well to get his ADC facilitated as much as possible.
Yep, overall there, just great play coming in from the side of Omega Gaming Banditos and locking themselves in for the playoffs. Absolutely huge for this team. Looking for some great things to be coming from this Omega Gaming Banditos squad. And, good game to GCU. They put up a fight there, but unfortunately, on the day, OGB is the better team. And Rude Dude, I've got nothing else for the cast.
Yep.
Any final words here from you?
Obviously, just my congratulations to the Banditos side. Thank you, Idea, for casting alongside me this evening. Been a pleasure as always. Looking forward to seeing you again later on in the week for our clash with the UML boys, Omega Gaming Ice, obviously taking to the Rift in their final week, I believe. Uh,
Absolutely. Let's get it going. And Rude Dude, I've got nothing for you. I've got nothing for everyone there at home. Thank you, everyone, for showing up to the Upsurge Junior League matchup here between Omega Gaming Banditos and Grand Canyon University Esports. OGB managing to come out on top today, making their way off into playoffs. Congratulations. But I'm the Idea PC, joined by Rude Dude. This will be ending our broadcast for tonight. Thank you all for coming in, and we will see you again on Friday. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful evening.